Now, the backdrop to this, of course, is what's going on right now atop the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. It's been unfolding over the past several weeks. I reported from there last week here on the newscast. I was on the ground in Jerusalem, where you have Palestinian rioters congregating in and around the Al-Aqsa Mosque, instigated by Hamas. More on that in a minute. And they are using the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which Muslims consider their third holiest site, as a weapons depot. They're storing weapons there, and they are using them, whether it's stones, Molotov cocktails, firecrackers, fireworks, I should say, using them to attack Israeli security services and Israeli civilians who are worshiping at the Western Wall below. Now, again, they are accusing Israel, is Hamas, and these rioters that Hamas is pushing to the Temple Mount, they're accusing Israel of desecrating and defiling the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Who is desecrating the mosque when the rioters are inside using it to store weapons and actually launching Molotov cocktails from inside the mosque? That's the big question here, folks, but the international community, quote unquote, does not want to answer that, and they're calling for restraint on all sides. But folks, make no mistake about it, Hamas has intentionally incited everything that has gone down atop the Temple Mount, revolving around the Al-Aqsa Mosque over the past several weeks. Hamas is portraying itself as the defender of Al-Aqsa, and they're using this issue to stir up their supporters across the Palestinian territories and inside Israel as well. Hey, look no further. Talk about incitement and a smoking gun. Last Saturday, Yahya Sinwar, who is a top Hamas leader in Gaza, gave a speech which can only be called an incitement to murder. Now, in that speech, Sinwar called for new attacks against Israelis. And by the way, he explicitly called for Palestinians to take up axes and knives to slaughter Israelis. Last night's attack involved two Palestinians using an axe and a knife to murder three Israelis, to butcher them in cold blood. And that attack came just 5 days after Yahya Sinwar's speech calling for such attacks. I'm sure it's only a coincidence, folks, even if there is no direct Hamas link to last night's attack, you can bet your bottom dollar that these two terrorists were certainly inspired by the terror group that rules Gaza with an iron fist. Now, back to Sinwar's speech. Called for new attacks, nothing too brand new there other than the methods he called for, axes, knives, among other ways. But he also called for attacks against, or he warned that Hamas would attack, quote, thousands of synagogues worldwide if Israel continued to defile, in his words, the Al-Aqsa Mosque atop the Temple Mount. Lastly, he said we are on the verge, his words, of a regional religious war over what's happening on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Now, a religious war in Yahya Sinwar and Hamas's view is clearly a call for jihad, a call for a holy war against Jews, against Christians, against anyone who stands in Hamas's way. So that was the demonic diatribe delivered by top Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar just last Saturday night. And you wonder why we see what we saw last night, the butchery in the Israeli city of Elad. Clearly a provocation, a call to terror from Hamas. And not surprisingly, in the wake of last night's attack, Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, the other Iranian proxy operating in Gaza, they praised the attack. They called it an heroic operation, and they said it's a response to the desecration by Israel of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. There's that issue once again. Folks, it brings to mind, as we look at the Temple Mount as the most coveted piece of real estate in the world, it brings to mind the book of Zechariah, which says that a day is coming where Jerusalem will become like a burdensome stone for the whole world, and anyone who comes against it will be cut to pieces.